So are we in a buyer's market or are we in a seller's market? Well, that depends. Let's talk about that. Hi, my name is Tanya Bird and I am with Bird Group Realty, powered by Keller Williams Realty Atlanta Partners in Peachtree City, Georgia. And today we're going to talk about the difference between a buyer's market and a seller's market and what that might mean for you. Let's get started by talking about months supply. So months supply means that if we were not to list any more houses, how many months would it take before we sold out of all of those houses? And that's what our month supply figure means. So a balanced market is about 6 months supply. And anything that is like 5 or less tends to be a seller's market. And anything more than 6 months or more tends to be a buyer's market. And essentially what that means is that when you're in a seller's market, the seller tends to have more power or advantage in the negotiations because there's not a lot of inventory or houses on the market, and there's a lot of buyers out there wanting to snatch up that demand. The opposite is true when it comes to a buyer's market. A buyer's market is where you have a whole lot of inventory and buyers have plenty to choose from. And so the negotiations tend to favor more into the buyer's directions when you're in a buyer's market. So now we're going to take a look at Fayette, and then we're going to take a look at Coweta County here in the south side of Georgia to see where we are in, what price points do we have, looking back at the last 6 months to see where we are. Where are we at in the seller's market, and at what price point then, boom, do we go into a buyer's market? So the first report I have pulled up is for Fayette County, and we're looking 6 months back. In this report, you can see that things are broken down into various price points and ranges. And we can see the number of sales that have happened in the last 6 months, our average days on market, our average sales price to list price ratio, how many are for sale right now as of January the 6th, and our month supply figure. So for all of Fayette County, you can see that we are in a seller's market all the way through this price point here. Once you hit that past the 700s to 850, it's 4 months supply. Once you get up here to the 850 to a million, we hit a buyer's market. So on average, we are at a 2.3 months supply, with our buyer's market being in the higher price points and a seller's market being in these lower price points. Okay, up next we have Coweta County, and Coweta County tells a different story than Fayette. We still have our price range up here at the top with all of our other data here. So let's look at month supply for Coweta County. So as you can see that we are still in a seller's market until we hit, this is an interesting figure here, the 350 to 400 range. We start to get close to 6, which would be a balanced market. Then we scoot back a little bit more into sellers. Here we are at the 500 to 600 point. We are getting close to that 6 number, closer to a balanced market. And then we definitely hit into a buyer's market once you get to that 700,000 point and beyond. So really it doesn't matter what kind of market that you're in. The important thing is to understand what kind of market that you're in so that you can price your house accordingly so that it will sell. And then you have the right expectations around how long that's actually going to take. Now, if you need help in the greater Atlanta area, please reach out to me. I'll be glad to help you determine what's the best strategy to get your house sold. And if you're not in this area, but you need hooked up with a good agent, I would be glad to make that connection for you. Bye. Thank you for watching this video, and please share with the world. Connect with me. Pop on over to Facebook and like my Facebook page. Follow me on Instagram. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and connect with me on LinkedIn. And if you would like to support me, send me your referrals. I love helping people with real estate.